Super Bowl 56 has finally arrived, everybody. What is going on? Today we are back, and today it is time for Super Bowl number 56. Here we go. I'm pulling up the injury report, even though I already know what it is. It's pretty basic, but I'm going to get it pulled up anyways. So here we go, everybody. It is time for picks and predictions for the 2021 NFL season close, being the Super Bowl. Here we go. I'm going to move this over, and this, and shabam. So, here we go, guys. Let's get her done. The number 4 seed Los Angeles Rams from the NFC are set to take on the number 4 seed Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC. This game is to take place tomorrow on my sister's birthday, Sunday, February 13th, 2022. 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is the kickoff. That would be 6:30 Eastern on NBC. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, Catherine Tappan will be on the call for NBC. The 13-7 Cincinnati Bengals are coming off of a 27-24 overtime win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, that game did cost me $20, but I did want the Bengals to win the game, but I also did lose $20 because of the game. Then we've got the 15-5 Los Angeles Rams. They're coming off of a 20-17 win over the San Francisco 49ers. This game is set to take place at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, which is where the Rams and the Chargers play. So yes, the Rams have a home Super Bowl for the Bucs had a home Super Bowl last year. Rams have a home Super Bowl this year, kind of, because the Rams are the designated road team because the AFC is hosting this year. So it's kind of weird, but technically the Bengals are the real home team, so they're going to get like the coin toss and I guess the sidelines. But yeah. So yeah, the Bengals are the designated home team, but the Rams are like the mathematical home team, if we're going to put it that way. So here we go. For this game, the Los Angeles Rams will be without left tackle Joe Noteboom. He is out for this game. He was placed on the IR this week. I was watching the NFL Honors, and their starting left tackle, he's more of a backup, but he's a really good backup. Their starting left tackle, Andrew Whitworth, is the winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And I actually had a really interesting time just watching him up there speaking. He has really good public speaking, and he's able to conduct an audience very well. And yeah, he just did a really good job speaking in front of how many people were in the YouTube theater or whatever it's called. But he did a really good job speaking, and I enjoyed watching it. He told good stories, and he truly made me believe why he won, and he did a really good job. So that was just kind of a side note, but yeah. Tight end Tyler Higbee is also out for this game, I believe. I believe he was placed on the IR this week as well, so Higbee, the starting tight end for the Rams, will be out for this game. For the Cincinnati Bengals, they only have one player listed, and that is their tight end. Questionable is tight end CJ Uzomah. Uzomah hurt his knee. Was it in the Kansas City game? Yeah. I believe it was toward the beginning of the first half of the Kansas City Chiefs game. Uzomah hurt his knee, left the game, did not look good, but he is vowed to be playing in the biggest game of his life. So that would be huge for the Bengals if Uzomah was able to play. Alright, so we got a couple different topics to talk about in today's show. Usually I only talk about the game, but I think I might have a couple more things. I might talk about NFL honors too, or I don't know. I guess we will. We're going to start with NFL honors. Do I agree with what all happened in the NFL honors show? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Here is the reason for that. The problem that I've found is something that other people have found too. With NFL honors, the show is based really on the regular season, regular season play. How does your team do in the regular season? How do you coach in the regular season? And I disagree with that. Well, I mean, I agree, but not all the way agree. Because I think the postseason should definitely be a factor in there. Because that's part of your leadership, is leading your team when the time matters. As the head coach, that is one of the aspects of leadership, is when you're in a playoff game, when you're in that big primetime game against a tough opponent, or your quarterback, because that is what matters. That is how you lead your team, is by being able to win games like those. And so I think that that's something I think is that the postseason should have been taken into account for those. For the awards, postseason should have been taken into account. And even if that means, I know obviously we like to crown everyone before the Super Bowl, but I would say even if that means, including the postseason, means having to move NFL honors till after the Super Bowl, I'd think about it. Because that would make the awards far more quality and real than just voting on the regular season. Because that's a part of the leadership, is can you lead your team into the playoffs? Can you lead your team there? So yeah, some of the different awards, like MVP was obviously my biggest rival, because I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers quarterback. Do I agree with that? And I would have to argue, not really. Last year, I see it as different. Last year was more fair, but this year, it's really... Again, if the postseason were taken into consideration, I don't think you would have won it. Because, I mean, look at how the team went out and played against the 49ers. It was a punt fest. The Packers got the ball and they drove downfield and scored a touchdown on the first drive of the game. So it was like, oh man, Packers are about to get the Jets turned on, and they are about to run away with this game. But then, well, it became a punt fest. Teams kept punting the ball back and forth. That was the only touchdown that the Packers scored the whole game. And the Packers lost 13. And the Packers lost that game 13-10. Is it because their defense didn't show up? No. Is it because their offense didn't show up? Yes. And who did that fall back on? Could be game planning and coaching. It could be player motivation. And it also could be quarterback and leadership. So that is my case of why I think the postseason should be taken into account. And so if it were up to me, I would have argued Cooper Kupp should be MVP. I mean, look at him. You rarely ever see non-quarterbacks ever win the MVP. He took the triple crown in receiving, which hasn't been done since, 2000 and something. He was able to do that, and in the postseason category, he has led his team to the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers absolutely whiffed in the first round. Or not the first round, but in their first game, the Packers whiffed. And a lot of that does fall back on Aaron Rodgers. Where in this case scenario, Cooper Kupp has led his team. He has been a leader, probably in the locker room. I don't know for sure, but he seems like a person that would be vocal. And Cooper Kupp has led the team on the field. He seems like he leads the team off the field. So I don't really, personally, see any reason why Cooper Kupp shouldn't have won MVP. He put up numbers that really no one ever has before. And other than personal stats like that, he has led the whole team, which is important. So, that's about my case right there for NFL honors. And I'll just put on my last note is I'm very happy to see Jamar Chase win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It is a great thing to see. And, The reason I like to see that is obviously because you can't lie. You know that Justin Jefferson here up in Minnesota, you can't lie. Justin Jefferson should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. And you can complain leadership. Well, guess what? The Chargers were 7-9 as well. And the Vikings have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. And now, I know, you'd think, oh, I'm a Minnesota fan. That means I'm pro Kirk Cousins. I'm not. But I'm also not anti-Kirk. If I want to make it clear, I'm not pro Kirk Cousins, and I'm also not anti-Kirk Cousins. I would really say I'm in the middle, but my personal viewpoint is I am pro-trade Kirk Cousins. But just because I'm pro-trade Kirk Cousins doesn't mean I'm actually anti-Kirk Cousins. Like, if he's the quarterback, it's not the end of the world, but there's more benefits to us trading him than there is to us keeping him. At least in, like, the 2023 viewpoint. Because Vikings in 2022, not really going to happen. So I would be okay, trade Kirk Cousins this year, get a bridge quarterback that can just make it work, someone like Jameis Winston or Teddy Bridgewater or someone like that. Get one of those, or Baker Mayfield. Actually, that's actually a really good example if we were to trade Kirk to the Browns. Do something like that. A, trade him away. B, sign a bridge quarterback dude. And you know what? That's going to save you $20+ million of cap space. The Vikings are due $45 million to Kirk Cousins this year. And you know what the problem I've found is? If we extend him or add void years or something, that creates a problem. Because we're doing what we've been doing for years now. And that is just kicking the can down the road and waiting. Because eventually there's going to have to be a year where the team is going to have to strip down a little bit. Take a step back to take a leap forward. And to me, I would prefer that time be now instead of keep pushing it off. Because do I want to see the Vikings continue to go 10-7 every year, make the wild card round, and either lose a close game in the wild card round or win a close game and then get blown out in the divisional? Is that what I want to see? Do I want to see my team make the playoffs? Well, I do want to see them make the playoffs, but I want to see a deep playoff run. I want to see the Super Bowl. And last time I checked, kicking the can down the road is just going to continue creating problems, and you're never going to get a Super Bowl worthy team. Sure, you might get a fringe playoff team, but you'll never get a Super Bowl team. Which is why I think if we trade Kirk Cousins, get a bunch of money back, that is going to help the cap space, maybe trade one other veteran that we have on this roster, whether it be Adam Thielen, I hate to say it, but Adam Thielen, Eric Hendricks, I would hate to say it, because that would be important, especially if this defense goes into a 3-4, which it seems like their defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel, will do. But, maybe trade one other prominent veteran and look at the draft compensation we could get. We could possibly get a first-round pick for Kirk Cousins. Why wouldn't you do that? Because the thing is, you can say Kirk Cousins is going to give us the best chance to win in 2022, and that is facts. I will agree on that. But if we keep him in 22 and all we're doing is drowning in money, and then we decide to let him go, then what good is that going to do us? Why don't we just let him go now, basically cut the cap space, get space that we need, get a bunch of draft compensation. That's one of the other reasons why I like trading Kirk Cousins. We could get a first-round pick and another mid-round pick. I would argue. For Kirk Cousins. We could get that. So why wouldn't we? So if we have a bunch of draft picks and salary cap and a bunch of draft comp, then why wouldn't we do that? Because then if we have all that, that's really the key we need. Then over the next 2 years or whatever, we can draft great players, and we have the money for free agency. We can pick up good players. We can kind of do what the Rams did this year. They just went all in. They picked up players and traded for players. I don't see any reason why Minnesota couldn't be able to do that. Honestly, they're in a position to do that in 2023. Not next year. But if they trade Kirk Cousins and maybe another prominent vet, and then they have some major draft comp, and they have a lot of salary cap space, I don't see any reason why we couldn't go all in. But if we keep Kirk Cousins or give him an extension or whatever, all we're going to be doing is continue kicking the money problem down the road. And then that just, I don't see it. I don't get why we do that. I'm all in on trade Kirk Cousins. I'm all in on trade Kirk Cousins, then either draft a quarterback in 2023 or a quarterback in 2022, but only if our draft board or whoever, the scouting department, only if they are super absolutely high on this guy. That is the only way I'll be all in for it. Because this year's draft, or quarterback draft, not very strong. Next year's will be better. So, only draft a guy this year if we're all in for it. Otherwise, we'll just get a bridge guy and wait till 2023. Or maybe even start Kellen Mond. See what he can do. We know Mike Zimmer was anti-Mond, but I don't see any reason why we couldn't just start Kellen Mond and see what happens in 2023. Draft someone, pick up a big-name person, trade for a big-name person. We'd have the money to do it, and we'd have the comp to do it. So that is my thought. I think the light at the end of the tunnel would be trade Kirk Cousins and get this whipped up. 2023 and 24, those are going to be our years. That is what my thought is. But, yeah. So that was just kind of my rambles about the Vikings. This happens every episode. Moving back to this game. I was talking about going all in. That's something the Rams really have done a lot this year. Jalen Ramsey, Jared Goff, Odell Beckham, Von Miller. I could think of a whole bunch of different players that the Rams have really gone all in this year. Look, the Rams probably don't have a first-round pick for the next, 3 years. And they probably don't have, a second-round or third-round pick for the next, 2 years. Honestly, that's actually not true. I just guessed. But I wouldn't be surprised if something like that is true. Because the Stafford trade, I believe, involved 3 first-rounders and maybe a third. Or I think that was it. See, so you can tell they went all in. They went all in. And as for the Bengals, they've just been using young talent. And they've been doing a good job. Between Joe Burr, or Joe Burr. I don't know how to say it the best, guys. When I sound Joe Burr, I just sound like Oker. So, please help me with pronunciation on it. On how to pronounce Joe B. R. Please help me. So between Burrow, Jamar, and a whole bunch of other players that they have, this team's got a young roster. They are going to be really good in the future. It's because they, kind of like the Vikings in a way. They were bad, so then they had, and now they've been smart with drafting. I think that's something Minnesota could do. If we slim down the roster and get the draft compensation, and if we're smart with drafting, this team could be really dang good. And I'm not kidding. But that's only if we have the cap space, draft comp, and the right draftees. Then this could be a really good roster. But, yeah. So, yeah, the Rams have really gone all in this year, and it seems to have been a working tactic as they are in the Super Bowl. Bengals have a young roster. They have been really riding the dagger this year. I did not expect them to make the Super Bowl. That's why I placed $20 on my name. And, sure enough, they made the Super Bowl. And I lost $20. But that's fine. I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. My boy Max is a big Bengals fan. He wants the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. He is in Florida right now. I'm still stuck here in Minnesota where it says it's currently -14 right now. I'm stuck in the cold weather. He's in the warm weather, but he'll be back for the game, so we will be having a watch party. I'll be repping something Bengals related. He'll be repping something Bengals related. Our whole party, I bet, will be cheering for the Bengals. And, yeah. So I don't know how much more I really have to say about this game, because I kind of did. Bengals are a young roster. They've been really exceeding my expectations all year. The Rams have really been going all in, and it seems to have been working thus far into the year. Kind of gave everything, kind of went off track a while today, but yeah. Before I make my pick for this game, make sure you stay tuned for next year. Next year is probably going to be even better, but I guess no guarantees. I've been over the past month thinking of different ways to make these videos. I've thought of ways to make them more entertaining and how to make them. I've just thought of more unique ways I can try. Because, this year last year my videos were super basic. Like, I didn't give any reasoning. That's why these videos are so long. Last year they were like a 1 week prediction was like a 15 to 20 minute video. And these are like, normally it's like between 45 minutes to an hour 15. That is how long these videos are. And they used to be like 15 minutes long. But it's because now I actually go in depth in the games, say reasons and stuff. But back then, I just kind of said, yeah, Rams have been kind of good this year. Bengals have also been pretty good too. But I guess I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. I just got a feeling in it. Like, that is not reasoning. I don't know, today's game actually didn't give much good reasoning, and I'm kind of sorry for that. But I'm trying to keep it not too long of a video. And I kind of rambled about Minnesota and NFL honors, so yeah. But yeah, as of course, there's probably going to be changes next year, so I hope you are entertained and I hope you come along for the ride. This year I already added the helmets, so yeah. So I don't know what I'll be doing next year. I'm sure helmets are going to stay, by the way, so that most likely will be remaining next year, but I added those in. I thought it'd be a good feature, and I think it is a pretty good feature, actually. But yeah, Commanders Pocket Pro helmet, I will be getting one, a Washington Commanders one, as soon as they become public. Because I have searched a couple times on Google, and so far I've not found a Commanders helmet yet that they've begun making. And yeah, maybe I'll make a mock draft. I don't know. Of course, until next September when these videos will begin again, stay tuned for whatever I feel like uploading and filming. So yeah, stay tuned. Over the summer, we'll have over the spring and summer, I'll probably have an NFL draft video. I usually do a mock draft for fun. I would love to do more sports-related videos like football, especially Vikings content. I would love to do it, but the problem is I just don't have time for it. If I didn't have to go to school every day for hours, I would totally do it, but I just wish I had more time for it. But unfortunately, it's not my call. Well, it is my call, but not really. It's the government's call. Hope the government doesn't take down this video for me saying that. But yeah, stay tuned for the summer. There are probably going to be some random vlogs if you feel like watching them. That's normal. Probably going to be some camping vlogs of me and my cousins. Probably going to be some other, I don't know, if I film anything else random, I'll probably upload it. Again, you already know around here, the purpose of the channel is not for views. It is for documentation and just having fun. So that's why my videos are not super high quality, because I'm just having fun making them, and that's what matters the most to me. So yeah, you can check out my vlogs if you want. I won't be offended if you don't, because I really don't care that much. I really don't care at all. And yeah, so thank you guys. Oh wait, I haven't made my pick yet. So yeah, just saying that. Stay tuned next year. I've already got some different ideas in my head of ways to make the content more interesting. And yeah, I don't know, maybe there will be more co-host episodes, because we had Matt on twice this year. Yeah, he was on twice, and he was going to be a third time, but then he wasn't available actually to make the third one. He didn't go that day. But yeah, maybe there will be more guest hosts. I'm not really sure. But yeah. So my winner for this game, again, I want the Bengals to win, but personally my winner is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game. I don't know what the spread is. Maybe it's Rams minus 3 or 4 would be my guess. Dang, that's actually a pretty close bet on whether you take the plus or the minus. I'm not super good on betting, so I've never, like, gambled. I mean, I'm only 17, so I couldn't legally gamble. But, I mean, let's be honest. Who on this earth hasn't... Last week, I was wagering a bet with someone. When I was wagering my bet with Max about the Bengals, someone heard it, and they were like my age. Someone my age heard it, and they were like, hey, are you gambling? Or they were like, are you placing a bet? That's illegal. And I literally looked at him and I said, look me in the face and tell me you've never placed a bet on anything before. Like, exactly. Come on. Even if you're 12 years old, you can't lie. You've probably placed a bet on something before. It can be literally anything. But, yeah. I also did place $1 on this game with one of my coworkers, Zach. I placed $1 on this game that the Rams would win the coin toss. And, yeah, I just have a feeling the Rams are going to win the coin toss, so I put $1 down on it. And, yeah, so I'm going to pick the Rams. The Rams are going all in this year, and I love it. I do love Joe Burrow and Jamar, and I do see that there is a legitimate case of why the Bengals could win this game. They've been defying all odds this year, and there's definitely a possibility they could do it again, but I just think that the Rams all-in format that they're doing, that could almost change the NFL. And I would love to see that, of making more teams more inclined to go all in for things, and I think that'd be really dope if that actually became a thing. I hope Minnesota would do that in 2023, like I talked about earlier, but yeah. I think the Rams are going to win. I just think that their Aaron Donald is going to affect the bad Bengals offensive line. He is going to be harassing Burrow in this game. Burrow's young and inexperienced. He's only a second-year player. Jamar is a rookie. I know they've got ice in their veins, but is the big game going to give nerves to them, especially with Aaron Donald on the other side and Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller? It's for you to decide, but I'm going to go with the Rams to win this game. And that is going to do it for this one. As always, stay tuned for the off-season content. There's probably going to be a draft video, probably going to be some Minnesota Vikings schedule release videos. I don't know. I would love to make this more of a tradition of like actual sports football content, but unfortunately I don't have the time for it. But I would love to do like a daily podcast, but I could only wish, I guess. But I guess that's going to do it for this video. Check out occasional vlogs or whatever I have, and see you in September, I guess. So we'll see you guys in September. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and share it with your friends if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you have any thoughts on the video or anything you want me to implicate into next year's, or if you want me to include in next year's format. I will take it into consideration. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and share it with your friends if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a good night. Skol Vikings. And until September, peace out.